course, let's have a look at your top story this evening. Well, dear Leader Mmusi Maimane drew a line in the sand and it led to Patricia de Lille's resignation as Mayor of Cape Town. Well, that's how Maimane has described de Lille's unexpected stepping down from office following a long drawn-out battle between her and the DA. It was characterised by a High Court legal challenge, a failed motion of no confidence and a public war of words. Well, de Lille's last day as Mayor will be on the 31st of October this year. Our parliamentary reporter Lukhanyo Calata was at this morning's media briefing where the announcement was actually made, and he joins us now from Cape Town. Very good evening to you, Lukhanyo. Of course, statements, of course, both made by Patricia and Mmusi, both citing this being in the interest of society. However, Mmusi continued to mention the issue of accountability. In contrast, though, Patricia de Lille says that her name is cleared. What are we actually drawing from this decision?
Shante, good evening. I think from Mmusi Maimane's side, I think it was a clear opportunity for him to finally get to end what has been something that has been quite damaging to the brand of the Democratic Alliance. Remember that this issue or this tussle between the DA and outgoing Mayor Patricia de Lille has been dragging on for almost a year. In June, when they were in the Western Cape High Court, the judgment there was in favor of Ms. de Lille, and the Democratic Alliance came off looking quite badly. And I think from Patricia de Lille's side, obviously, I mean, she feels vindicated. How much of that is actually real, I mean, it remains to be seen. But what we do know is that there will no longer be any charges that she will face, although there is a separate process that is being undertaken by the city of Cape Town, which is very different, obviously, to the charges that were brought by the DA as a party. So the City of Cape Town process has to run its course. And I think Mmusi Maimane was alluding to that when he was referring to the fact of accountability, the fact that the City of Cape Town and the charges of mismanagement, or at least a bad management on Patricia de Lille's side, those still have to continue. So while the charges against de Lille from the side of the Democratic Alliance have been dropped, the charges that were brought by the City of Cape Town, those will continue. Shante?
In terms of this, it was a very unexpected announcement. What sort of reaction have you managed to garner from the ground in terms of whether this was politically motivated or it was an issue of governance?
I think, Shante, from the reactions that we were able to just squeeze out of people, is that this was a matter of politics. The tussle between de Lille and the DA, was not particularly good for the Democratic Alliance, particularly as you consider that we are in a pre-election year. I mean, it's August now. Parties will start getting ready, gearing up for the elections. And to have this kind of issue between the party and a very strong politician like Patricia continuing without any resolution, would have been completely detrimental to the Democratic Alliance as the brand leading up to the elections next year. So I think the decision that Mmusi took, to basically draw a line in the sand, as he was putting, was to make sure that this matter is finally ended.
Yeah, definitely. Earlier on, watching that press briefing, I got a glimpse of that interview that you had with Mmusi Maimane, trying to get a better understanding of what he actually meant about drawing that line in the sand. But essentially, what does this mean in terms of the decision being made now? Why now? In speaking to some of the political analysts earlier on, just after the announcement was made, many said that this could have actually been taken from the onset.
Well, Shante, I think one of the big reasons that this decision was taken now is that the disciplinary hearing that was supposed to be instituted against Patricia de Lille was actually supposed to start on August 6th. and August 7th. So that's tomorrow and Tuesday. So basically the decision comes right on the eve of that disciplinary process disciplinary measures that were going to be instituted against Patricia de Lille. And I think, both sides in this instance have spared themselves a very public spat because there would have been allegations or there would have been information that would have come out in this disciplinary process which Patricia de Lille wanted to be out in public that would have revealed some of the inner workings of the Democratic Alliance. So I just think that Mmusi weighing up all of those options, thought, you know what, it's best to draw a line in the sand, as he said, and try to end this matter before, they get into those disciplinary procedures. Shante?
Yeah, Lukhanyo, just take us into a prelude into those clips of both Mmusi Maimane as well as Patricia de Lille's presser this afternoon.
Well, Mmusi Maimane was he was stern. I think he kind of preceded, the announcement on Patricia de Lille by saying that, this is not the kind of thing that he would have liked to happen within the party. It's not how he would like to see the party handle matters of this nature. And then, but he said that something had to be done. And afterwards, I was able to speak to him and because he had mentioned something about drawing a line in the sand, and this was his response to my question.
I wanted to draw a line in the sand so we can focus on creating work for people.
What does drawing a line in the sand mean?
It means that continuing the party and the engagement with the mayor, if we continue with that, I think it is something that I don't think South Africans who are sitting at home expect.
Of course, I think the next question now, Lukhanyo, is where to for Patricia de Lille. Of course, many are saying she will be resigning as mayor. Herself, she mentioned that she will carry out what has now been described as a transition process up until the 31st of October. From then, will she remain a DA member? Is she likely to remain a DA member, looking forward into 2019?
Shante, yes, Patricia de Lille has made it clear that I think for the foreseeable future at least, she will remain a member of the Democratic Alliance. Look, remember that in June, that's why she went to the Cape High Court to try and retain the membership, her membership of the Democratic Alliance. So I don't think that it's something that she'll give up thus easily, having fought so long, having spent such a lot of money trying to retain. The problem, however, is what she is going to do going forward with her life, with her career. And when we spoke to her afterwards, this is what she said.
He said this was not about a position. It was about clearing my name. I feel vindicated, so I feel very happy today. I can now move on with my life.
She can move on with her life, she says, but we just don't know exactly what she's going to do. But she did say that she will make a decision very soon, and maybe she will make that decision publicly. But obviously, only time will tell in that regard. Shante?
Indeed, only time will tell. We'll wrap it up there. Lukhanyo Calata for SABC News in Cape Town. Just a bit of a post-analysis on that announcement made earlier this afternoon of the resignation of Patricia de Lille as Mayor of Cape Town.